Did you know that the first American colony to declare its independence from Britain was Rhode Island? Commonly known to many worldwide as America, the USA, or simply the U.S., the United States of America was founded on July 4, 1776. After gaining independence from Great Britain, it has a population of 331,449,281 people as of 2020, making it the third most populous country in the world. The U.S. is located primarily in the North American continent, bordered by Canada to the north and Mexico to the south. With a total of 3,796,742 square miles, 9,833,520 square kilometers of land and water, it is the third largest country in the world, ranking behind Russia and Canada, respectively. The most populous city in the U.S. is New York City, while the country's capital is Washington, D.C. Here we're going to look at 50 facts about America, covering facts about each and every state. 1. The most religious state in the U.S. is Alabama. The Pew Research Center found that 86% of adults in Alabama were polled as Christian, with 49% being evangelical Protestants. It should come as no surprise then that religion is considered to be a pretty big deal in the Yellowhammer State, with 77% of adults polled reporting religion to be very important in their lives. Bonus fact, around 50% of Alabamans look to religion for answers when they need to choose between what's right and wrong. 2. Alaska ranks number 1 when it comes to people going missing. Reports of missing persons in Alaska were made famous by Christopher McCandless, the character from Into the Wild, but that's only the tip of the iceberg. On average, about 5 out of every 1,000 people are reported missing in Alaska, which is twice the national average. With a population of 731,000 people, that means that in Alaska, some 3,655 people are reported missing annually. 3. The world's first McDonald's drive-thru was built in Arizona. The concept of a drive-thru has been around since the early 20th century. It came a few years after the invention of the automobile. But McDonald's didn't get onto the scene much later. In 1975, McDonald's Sierra Vista in Arizona had a problem. There were plenty of potential customers from the nearby military base, but they weren't allowed to dine in while wearing uniforms. The ingenious owner literally knocked a hole in the wall and installed a window, becoming the first McDonald's in the world to accept orders via drive-thru. 4. The state of Arkansas is home to the U.S. only active diamond mine. Amazingly enough, it's actually a state park. The crater of Diamond State Park in Arkansas lies on top of an old volcanic crater. It is the only place in the world that allows the public to freely search for diamonds and keep what they find. More than 600 diamonds are found by visitors annually, with the most valuable found to date selling for a hefty $34,000. 5. There used to be illegal U.S. immigrants in California. Before California was a U.S. state, it was actually Alta California, a part of Mexico. During the early 19th century, much of the region was undeveloped and loosely controlled. As a result, many from the U.S. came to live there both legally and illegally. When the Mexican government attempted to restrict what rights the illegal U.S. immigrants had, they tried to revolt, founding the incredibly short-lived California Republic. Bonus fact, California's official state flag was based mainly on the California Republic's flag. 6. The world's largest hot spring swimming pool can be found in Colorado. The Glenwood Hot Springs Resort in Glenwood Springs, Colorado, sure is a sight to behold. The resort is impressive, with 100+ rooms, a restaurant, a gift shop, a gym, and a large spa, but that's nothing compared to the hot springs. The hot springs feed into a massive swimming pool that's kept at a cozy temperature of 90 degrees 93 degrees Fahrenheit, 32 degrees 34 degrees centigrade, which is just the perfect temperature for lazing about. 7. Legendary U.S. author Mark Twain wrote some of his most famous novels at his home in Connecticut. Did you know that his real name was Samuel Langhorne Clemens? Mark Twain was just his pen name. He was actually born in Missouri, but moved to Hartford, Connecticut, in 1874, where he lived for the next 17 years. The most notable novels that Mark Twain wrote during this time include A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, and The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. 8. The first state to ratify the U.S. Constitution was Delaware. When the 13 colonies rebelled against Great Britain and declared their independence, it soon became apparent that a unified set of rules was necessary to form the basis of their new country's laws. The U.S. Constitution was eventually drafted and then signed by delegates from the former 13 colonies before being sent to each state to be voted on. Delaware was the first of the new U.S. states to sign the Constitution on December 7, 1787. 9. The University of Florida designed Gatorade to help their NFL players perform better. Back in the 60s, the Florida Gators assistant coach sat down with a bunch of the university's scientists and concluded that their players were all struggling on hot days, partially due to lost electrolytes and a lack of carbohydrates. After much time in the lab, they devised a drink that replaced the salt, electrolytes, and carbohydrates players lost during intense games, naming it Gatorade after the Florida Gators football team. The Gators started regularly beating teams that were normally tipped to come out on top, and it wasn't long before you were considered to be at a significant disadvantage if you didn't provide Gatorade to your players. 10. A tree in the U.S. owns itself and the land underneath it. The first tree that owned itself was a white oak tree in Athens, Georgia, whose owner had loved it so much that he decided to deed the tree and the land it was on to the tree itself after he died. Unfortunately, this tree was blown down in a storm in 1942, but residents of Athens planted an acorn from the original tree in its place. The new tree that grew from this is considered the son of the original tree and allowed to continue owning the land due to inheritance law. In this video, we have done 10 facts about the USA. Balance 40 we will explain in next part 2 video. Stay tuned, and if you like this video, please sub to the channel for more.